My parents told me not to celebrate my son's graduation because my niece deserved the spotlight. My sister sneered. He's not even that special. That night, I walked away and cut them off. A year later, they saw how happy I was without them, and they couldn't handle it. What's up, Reddit? I spent 41 years being the family's background character and pretended I was fine with it, until they started pulling the same crap with my kid. That's when I went full John Wick and made sure they felt every ounce of it. You know the drill. Grab your snacks, let's get into the chaos. Name's Bruno, 41, male. Growing up in Ashford, Vermont felt like being the warm-up act no one bothered to clap for. My older sister Victoria was the golden child from birth. Pageant winner, academic darling, pro at turning fake sweetness into a weapon. Meanwhile, I was the nerd in the garage building computers and getting detention for correcting teachers' math. The favoritism wasn't subtle, it was the whole family brand. When Victoria won Miss Teen Vermont, my parents rented out an entire restaurant. When I got a full ride acceptance to Carnegie Mellon for electrical engineering, my dad said nice job and immediately pivoted to asking if I'd seen Victoria's trophy shelf lately. They didn't ignore me entirely. Bills were paid, meals were cooked, but the difference in treatment was like night versus a stadium spotlight. College was my escape route. That's where I met Maya during a hackathon. She was in software dev, sharp as hell, and actually thought my jokes were funny. On our third date, I mentioned my family dynamic. She stared at me like I just admitted I worship Bigfoot. Wait, they openly favor your sister and you're fine with it? I'm used to it, I told her. We got married right after graduating. My parents showed up but spent the entire reception bragging to Maya's family about Victoria's PR career. They joked, loudly, that they were shocked I found someone willing to deal with me. People laughed. 2 years later, our son Noah was born. Holding him, I made a quiet promise. This kid would never wonder where he ranked. My parents visited for maybe an hour, dropped off a stuffed animal, snapped a few photos, and left. That same week, my mom called 6 separate times, not to ask about Noah, but to see if I'd heard from Victoria because she was upset about her boyfriend. 3 years after that, Victoria had Olivia. My parents drove 4 hours to stay with them for 10 days. My dad used his vacation time. My mom brought a custom silver-lettered baby book titled Our First Granddaughter. Noah, apparently, had been a placeholder child. Holidays were always the same circus. Olivia's bare minimum achievements got cheering and gifts. Noah's hard-earned wins got a polite nod and a "that's nice, dear." Still, I pushed myself to be the father I never had. Maya and I built a home where hard work meant something. My career took off. I ended up VP of engineering at a cybersecurity firm. Victoria kept bouncing from PR job to PR job while my parents handcrafted excuses for every failure. When Noah was 14, he won a regional coding competition. $5,000 prize money, article in the paper. My parents saw it, called to congratulate him, then immediately asked if I could send them $3,000 to help Victoria with temporary cash flow issues. I said no. My mom cried about how she didn't raise me to abandon family. I kept telling myself I'd made peace with it all. I had my own life, my own family. I didn't need their validation. Then came Thanksgiving, the last one before everything blew up. Olivia whined that her iPhone was 2 generations old. My mom offered to buy her the newest one on the spot. Noah mentioned he was saving for a better laptop for college apps. My dad told him saving money builds character. Olivia had a $1,200 phone by the weekend. Noah kept saving. Earns out I'd just been lying to myself for 17 years. Hen one Tuesday afternoon in April. Noah called while I was in a security briefing. His name popped up, so I stepped out. Dad, they called me to the office. I'm valedictorian. Full ride to MIT, it's official. Felt like my chest was going to burst. This kid had worked himself to the bone. AP classes, robotics, coding tournaments, debate team, all of it. This was his moment. That's incredible, I told him. We're throwing you a celebration that'll make your graduation look like pregame. I got to work. We booked a venue overlooking the mountains, hired caterers, lined up a DJ, lined up a photographer, booked the whole spread, the works. Then, almost as an afterthought, I figured I should probably call my parents. Their grandson had just pulled off something massive after all. My mom picked up Bree. Mom, Noah was just named valedictorian. 4 gigapascals, full MIT scholarship, top of his entire class. Islands. Then, well, that's nice. He's always been academic. Why chest tightened, but I pushed through it. We're organizing a huge celebration. It'd mean a lot if you and Dad came. Another pause. Oh, speaking of celebrations, did Victoria call you? No. Why would she? Olivia was just named cheer captain for her junior year. The coach said she's showing real leadership. Your father and I are over the moon. She's worked so hard, rubbed my temples bar. That's great for Olivia. But what does that have to do with Noah's event? What came next burned through 4 decades of swallowed pride. We just think maybe you shouldn't make such a big spectacle of Noah's academic thing right now. Olivia deserves to shine. Noah's always achieving. This is really special for her. I nearly dropped the phone. Mom, you're actually telling me not to celebrate my son becoming valedictorian with a full ride to MIT? Not cancel it. Just delay it a few weeks. We're hosting a big party for Olivia this Saturday. Family dinner. You should all come. Noah can share his news there. The rest of the conversation turned into static. When I hung up, I sat in my office, cold anger tightening in my chest until it felt like steel. Maya found me an hour later, still staring at the wall. What happened? I repeated the whole thing. They want you to what? She snapped, slamming her laptop shut. Honestly, this is exactly who they are. We didn't notice Noah standing in the doorway, MIT acceptance letter in hand. Is something wrong with the party? I couldn't lie, your grandparents want us to postpone it. Olivia made cheer captain and they think the timing would overshadow her. Noah was quiet for a long beat. Then he nodded, almost like he'd expected it. So her stuff matters more than mine. Same old routine. That resignation shattered something in me. My kid, grown up assuming this was normal, that being dismissed was part of his role. But then I noticed something else in his expression. Not sadness, not hurt, annoyance. You know what, Dad? He said, forget it, do the party anyway. That's when it hit me. He'd inherited my habit of filing things away. That night, Maya and I stayed up charting out the event, and deeper than that, untangling family patterns we'd ignored for decades. Around midnight, my phone buzzed. Victoria. She never called unless she wanted something. Hey, Mom mentioned Noah's college thing. Congrats or whatever. Thanks. So about Saturday. I know Mom might have made it sound optional, but it's not. Olivia's had a rough year. She needs the whole family there. You get that, right? Her tone scraped every nerve I had left. So you're telling me it's mandatory to attend Olivia's cheer captain celebration, but Noah's valedictorian party should be postponed so it doesn't overshadow her? Oh my God, don't be dramatic. It's one weekend. Noah's going to MIT. He'll have a million things to celebrate. Olivia needs this. As her uncle, you should want to support her. That's what family does. As her uncle, I do support her. As Noah's father, I'm not delaying his celebration so she can have a party for becoming cheer captain. Wow. So Mom finally convinced you to be a selfish jerk. Great. There it was. Victoria couldn't stand Maya, mostly because Maya was the first one to ever call out the favoritism directly. Leave Maya out of it. Why? She's obviously the one putting these ideas in your head. You never had a problem with how things worked before you married her. Now you're too good for family events. Remember when I lost my job 3 years ago? You sent me $5,000, no questions asked. But now you won't even show up for your niece? That was before you turned guilt tripping into an Olympic sport. I'm not weaponizing anything. I'm asking for basic support. But fine, don't come. Just know Olivia won't forget this. She'll remember her uncle couldn't bother to celebrate her accomplishment. Victoria, I'm ending this call. We're throwing Noah's party. You're invited. Show up or don't. Your decision. If you do this, you'll regret it. Mom and Dad will be devastated. And Olivia will never forgive you for ruining her moment. Then she hung up. I sat there staring at my phone. A moment later, Maya appeared in the doorway. I heard shh. E blamed me for you being selfish. Of course she did. I'm the family's designated scapegoat, she said, sinking into the chair across from me. For what it's worth, she added, I'm proud of you. You finally drew a line. Yeah, I said, and that line's about to get a lot bolder. The next morning I drove straight to my parents' house. No warning, no text, just parked and walked up. My dad answered the door, eyebrows shooting up. Bruno, it's Wednesday. Shouldn't you be at work? I took the morning off. We need to talk. About Noah, about Saturday, about everything. His expression shuddered instantly. Your mother said you were upset about the scheduling. Upset doesn't even come close. My mom stepped in from the living room. Her smile vanished when she saw my face. Before you say anything, Bruno, please understand, we weren't being unreasonable. You asked me not to celebrate my son's valedictorian achievement because it might overshadow Olivia being named cheer captain. She set her coffee down. We only asked if you could postpone it. A few weeks. That's not unreasonable. What circumstances, Mom? That Victoria's daughter accomplished something and mine needs to stay quiet out is? Dad moved forward. No one said Noah can't celebrate. We just think the timing should be considerate. Olivia's been having a hard time. This is important for... Noah's been working toward this for 4 years, I snapped, my voice rising even though I tried to control it. Straight A's, robotics state championships, competitions, a full scholarship to MIT, one of the hardest schools to get into. And you want me to downplay that because Olivia made cheer captain? Mom slowly removed her reading glasses. You're being dramatic. We're just asking you to consider your niece's feelings. Is that so terrible? When, I asked, have you ever considered Noah's feelings? When have you ever celebrated his achievements with even half the enthusiasm you give Olivia? Silence. My mom's expression tightened. This is Maya's influence. Before her, you understood how families work. You forgot Noah's 13th birthday because Victoria was moving. You skipped his robotics championship for Olivia's recital. Last Christmas, you got him a $50 gift card while Olivia got a $1,500 laptop. They stared at me like they were hearing it all for the first time. Those were scheduling conflicts, Dad muttered. It's a pattern, I said. The same pattern you raised us in. Mom straightened. We did our best with you and your sister. If you've held on to some imagined slights, that's on you. I laughed, and it came out hollow. Mom, it's not imagined. It's blatant, documented favoritism. Dad's tone went frigid. We've already arranged Olivia's celebration. The entire family is attending. We thought Noah could share his news there. That way, everyone gets recognized. That's perfectly fair. My blood boiled. That's your solution? Lump in Noah's once-in-a-lifetime moment with Olivia becoming cheer captain? If you're going to be difficult, Mom snapped, then maybe you shouldn't come Saturday at all. Something in me snapped. Cleanly, quietly, no, I said calmly. We're throwing Noah a real party. He deserves that. Whether you show up or not, then it'll be without us, Dad said stiffly. Since you clearly don't care about family unity. I walked toward the door. Then I turned back one last time. You know what's really sad? Noah is extraordinary. Brilliant, disciplined, compassionate, and you've been so busy propping up Victoria and Olivia that you've never bothered to know him. That loss is yours, not his. I left, got into my car with shaking hands, and drove away feeling both awful and strangely relieved, like I'd finally set down something I didn't realize I'd been carrying for decades. I called Maya. It's done. They're not coming. How bad was it? As bad as you'd imagine. They think I'm being dramatic, and Victoria's probably already drafting her rage manifesto. Good, Maya said sharply. Let them stew. At home, Noah was in his room. I knocked. Hey, I said, poking my head in. I talked to your grandparents. They won't be at your party. He looked up, processed it, and shrugged. Honestly? Good. Now we can have the party we want. Grandma always makes everything weirdly formal anyway. I laughed. You've got a point. Plus, he added, now I don't have to pretend to care about Olivia's cheerleading news. Win-win. We dove headfirst into planning the ultimate graduation celebration. Maya found this mountain venue with views that looked like they were photoshopped, booked a photographer who actually knew angles and lighting, hired a DJ who understood the assignment, no Cupid Shuffle marathon. Invites went to everyone who genuinely mattered. Noah's robotics and debate teammates, teachers who championed him, kids he'd met at coding events. Maya's brother Julian flew in from Seattle with his family. Sean, my college roommate, drove up from Boston. Maya's parents arrived early to help decorate. They've always treated Noah like their own grandson. Noticeably missing from the list my parents, Victoria, Elliot, and Olivia. The actual graduation ceremony was its own tense experience. I spotted them sitting far from our seats, not approaching, not looking our way. When Noah gave his valedictorian speech about resilience and surrounding yourself with people who see your potential instead of your competition, I caught my mom's eye. She looked away instantly. The party that weekend was everything we hoped. Noah was thriving, surrounded by people who cared. Maya's parents gave a toast that had everyone wiping their eyes. Julian roasted me with college stories that made Noah snort laugh. Sean's kids presented Noah with a homemade trophy labeled Actual Favorite Grandson. One of Noah's teachers pulled me aside. Your son is exceptional. In 20 years of teaching, I've never taught anyone with his combination of talent and work ethic. You should be proud, he said. I am, I told him. Around 8 p.m., my phone buzzed. A text from an unfamiliar number. Aunt Monica saw Noah's photos online. Beautiful event. Your mother called me crying about being excluded. Just know you did the right thing. Some patterns need to be broken. We did good, Maya said. We did, I agreed. No regrets. Monday morning, I was back at the office when my phone lit up with a text from Victoria. Mom's in tears. Dad won't talk to anyone. Hope you're happy. I ignored it, but she wasn't finished. For the next 2 weeks, the messages kept rolling in. My parents were apparently heartbroken. Olivia kept asking why Uncle Bruno skipped her birthday, and somehow I was now the villain tearing the family apart. I'd always been selfish, according to them, but this was supposedly a brand new low. Maya had turned me against them. The messages got more frantic by the day. One claimed my dad's blood pressure was sky high because of the stress I caused. Another accused Maya of being a manipulative gold digger who'd isolated me from my real family. On day 12, I finally blocked the number. Summer ended up being the best it had ever been. Noah was prepping for MIT, spending hours organizing his dorm layout with a kind of meticulousness that genuinely made me proud. We started house hunting and found a place with 5 acres, mountain views, and actual breathing room. We made an offer immediately. It closed in August, and we moved in right before Noah headed off to school. Contact. With my parents evaporated, no calls, no texts, nothing. The 4th of July came and went. My mom's birthday passed. My dad's too. Not a word. Victoria kept up her silent treatment, which honestly improved my life. Thanksgiving was spent with Maya's family in Portland. Christmas was just the 3 of us in a cabin near Stowe, skiing and deliberately not thinking about family chaos. It was the most peaceful holiday season I could remember. Noah thrived at MIT. Constant video calls, constant excitement about classes and projects, and his Singaporean roommate. For the first time in forever, life felt lighter, like I'd stepped out from under decades of performing for people determined not to care. Then one night in March, almost a year after graduation, my phone lit up with an unfamiliar number. Normally I'd ignore it, but something made me pick up. Bruno, it's Elliot, Victoria's husband. We'd spoken maybe 10 times in 15 years. Elliot? Wow, didn't expect this. Yeah, listen. I know things are tense with your family, but I need to talk to you. Can we meet? Just us, no one else. The request blindsided me. What's going on? I'd rather explain in person. Please, it's important. I agreed. 2 days later, at a coffee shop in Burlington, he slid into the booth looking like he hadn't slept in weeks, thinner, worn down, shirt rumpled like he'd grabbed it off the floor. Thanks for coming, he said. Didn't know if you would. Honestly, curiosity won. He gave a humorless laugh, gripping his coffee. I'll just say it. I lost my job 8 months ago. Haven't found anything since. We're drowning. Victoria won't admit it, but we're probably going to lose the house. I just nodded, unsure why he was confiding in me now. Sorry to hear that, Elliot, but I'm not sure what you want me to do. Your parents have been paying our mortgage for 6 months, car payments, credit cards, around 70 grand. I set my cup down, $70,000. They're cashing out retirement accounts. Your dad mentioned maybe selling their house. My parents bleeding themselves dry to support Victoria, again. The same story on repeat. Why are you telling me this? Because they want to invest in your company, $50,000 minimum. They think it'll help them get back what they spent. I almost laughed. Elliot, I'm the CTO, not the CEO. I don't pick investors. They know. They also know your CEO trusts you. They want you to vouch for them. Tell them it's a good opportunity. So let me get this straight. My parents, who haven't spoken to me in nearly a year, want me to help them invest so they can recoup money they used bailing out Victoria? Elliot winced. When you phrase it like that, is there another way to phrase it? He rubbed his face. Look, man, I know it's messed up. I told Victoria this was a bad idea, but your parents are desperate. And honestly, so am I. My daughter doesn't understand why she can't go to dance class anymore. Victoria keeps insisting everything's temporary. How much does Victoria know about this conversation? She knows I'm meeting you. She doesn't know I'm being honest. I sighed. Elliot, you seem like a good guy stuck in a disaster, but Victoria made her choices. So did my parents. Now they get the fallout. Yeah. He stood, tossed a 20 on the table even though we'd only ordered coffee. Figured that'd be your answer. Can't blame you. He hesitated. For what it's worth, I always thought the way they treated you and Noah was messed up. Victoria said I didn't understand family dynamics. Family dynamics. I barked a laugh. Sure, take care of yourself, Bruno. And good luck. You might need it. Victoria doesn't react well to rejection. He walked out and I sat there processing. Gee, when I got home and told Maya, she stared at me. You're joking. Nope. 70 grand and counting, and now they want me to pitch them to my CEO. Maya started laughing. The audacity. The absolutely unhinged audacity. Exactly. So what are you going to do? I thought about decades of being the afterthought. Nothing. I'm not helping them, and I'm not engaging. They made their decisions. What if they push harder? Then they push. I'm done. But they didn't wait long. 2 weeks after I met Elliot, my mom called, first time in almost a year. Bruno, we need to talk about helping your sister. No greeting, no apology, straight to demands. No, we don't. Excuse me? I said no. You've already spent 70,000. How much more are you planning to burn through? Silence. Then, so Elliot told you? He did. What I want to know is why you think I'd help you recover that money. Because we're family. Because we're asking for your help. This was manipulation 101. You ignored me for a year, now you suddenly want something. When no one needed you, you said he didn't matter as much as Olivia. That's not... I hung up. Blocked her too. An hour later, Maya found me on the deck staring at the mountains. That sounded rough. She tried guilt. Didn't land. Good. But I doubt that's the end of it. She was right. 3 days later, my CEO, Cameron Lee, who never calls unless the world is falling apart, rang me. Bruno, I need to talk to you about something strange that happened today. What's going on? Cameron continued. I got a call today from a woman who said she was your mother. She claimed there were concerns about your mental stability and whether you should still be in your position. I froze. She said you'd been having paranoid episodes, making erratic choices, he added. Even brought up specific incidents that sounded serio. If any of it were real, the betrayal hit like a punch straight to the ribs. Cameron, I can explain. Bruno, relax, he cut in. I hung up on her within half a minute. Called you right away because whatever this is, it's clearly personal. A pause, just keep your family issues out of the company. But for the record, you're one of the most dependable, steady people I've ever worked with. Thanks. That means more than you know. When I told Maya, she went from stunned to furious in seconds. She tried to get you fired, your own mother. Apparently Victoria's situation is desperate enough for nuclear options. We should sue her. For what? Manipulation isn't illegal. Maya began pacing, that razor-sharp focus she got when solving impossible problems. There has to be something we can do, some way to end this. There is, I said quietly. I'm just not sure if I'm ready. She stopped. What are you thinking? Remember when my parents co-signed Victoria's mortgage years ago? Yeah, she couldn't qualify on her own. They're still on the deed. If Victoria defaults, it destroys their credit. Maya's eyes widened. You want to buy the debt? I buy the mortgage. I control the default. Can you do that? Julian will know. Her brother Julian handled private wealth in Seattle. I called that evening and laid out everything. He went silent. Buying distressed real estate debt. Yeah, it's possible. If the bank's willing, probably $250,000 to $300,000. I can cover it. Just understand, once you do this, you can't undo it. I'm sure I'll give you a week. 10 days later, Julian called back. He'd found the right banker, worked the terms, structured it all. I officially owned mortgage on Victoria and Elliot's house. Everything by the book, everything legal, everything utterly shattering to the old family hierarchy. The process was easier than I expected. The bank was thrilled to unload a risky loan. Julian set it up through an LLC so my name wouldn't surface immediately. Cost me $285,000. Worth every dime. I didn't tell my parents. I waited. The moment arrived 2 weeks later when Victoria rang from an unknown number. You need to talk to your CEO, she snapped. Tell him to invest with mom and dad, their family. You owe them? I don't owe them anything. And I'm not helping. Then you leave me no other choice. I'll start telling people who you really are. I've already talked to some of your old friends. They're shocked, Bruno. Shocked. Victoria, I said calmly. Check your mortgage statement before you make any more threats. What does that mean? Check it. Then call me back. She hung up. 10 minutes later, my phone blew up. Calls from her, my mother Elliot. I ignored every one. At 11:04 p.m., Victoria finally texted, What did you do? I replied, I bought your debt. I own your mortgage now. Every payment goes to me, every late fee, every penalty. I decide whether you keep that house. Then I turned off my phone and went to sleep. The next morning, 17 voicemails, 34 texts, 6 emails. Variations of the same theme, how dare I do this to family? I was heartless, I'd regret this. Elliot's message was quiet, almost pitiful. Please, Bruno, we need to talk. This affects Olivia too. A week later, Victoria showed up at my office. Security called first. There's a woman claiming to be your sister. She's very upset. Should we call police? No, send her up. She stormed in, looking like she'd cried all the way there. Hair wild, mascara streaked. You can't do this, she yelled. You can't buy our house out from under us. I didn't buy your house. I bought your debt. What do you want? Her voice cracked. Money? An apology? What? I leaned back, studying the cyst. Who'd always been the favorite and was now cornered. I want nothing from you, or from mom and dad. Then why? Why would you do this? Because you tried to wreck my career. Because you've all spent the last year making my life hell. We were desperate, she choked. Do you know what it's like? We're drowning. And you sit here in your nice office with your perfect life and you won't help? I earned this life. You had every advantage I didn't, and you threw them away. That's not fair. What about Olivia? She didn't do anything. She'll lose her home. And Noah didn't do anything either when your parents told him he mattered less than your daughter. This is different. No, it isn't. She went cold. You'll regret this, Bruno. One way or another, get out of my office, Victoria. I'll make sure the world knows what you did to your own family. I picked up my desk. Phone. Security? Escort her out. She's not welcome here. After she was gone, I called Julian. She just threatened me. Then we accelerate the foreclosure path. But get a lawyer first. Document everything. Already on it. Victoria responded exactly how I expected. Social media tirades, painting me as the selfish son who abandoned a sister in crisis. Posts about how success had changed me, how Maya had brainwashed me, hundreds of likes, sympathetic strangers. My mother commented on every post, so proud of you for speaking your truth. Family loyalty matters. Then one of Victoria's own friends, apparently fed up, leaked screenshots, messages where Victoria openly admitted she was manufacturing the drama. If I make him look bad enough, he'll cave. Mom's helping. We're coordinating. This is war. Within a day, the narrative collapsed. People who defended her now demanded answers. She deleted everything, locked down her accounts, disappeared. But the damage was done. The next morning, Maya showed me more. Renee came through. Victoria asked her for money too. Same sob story. How much you want to? Bet Renee wasn't the only one. No bet. Victoria's been running this scam for years. 3 months later, Julian called. Bank accepted all terms. You officially control the mortgage. Options are collect payments, force foreclosure, or offer settlement terms. What terms? No contact unless you initiate. No public or private bad-mouthing. Violation triggers immediate repayment of the full debt. I weighed revenge against freedom. Draft it. No contact, no disparagement, penalties enforced. Julian handled the paperwork. I sent everything via courier to my parents and to Victoria and Elliot. No explanation. Let the documents do the talking. 2 days later, my dad called. Bruno, we got your offer. Good. A long silence. Is this really what you want? For us to sign away our right to see our grandson? You didn't want to see him when it mattered. Why should I believe you do now? We made mistakes. You made choices. Now you live with them. Another pause. Your mother wants to speak to you. No. I kept my voice calm. You have 72 hours. After that, I foreclose. I hung up. Hour 71, an email arrived from my father's lawyer. They'd signed everything. No contact, no disparagement. Violation equals $300,000 due immediately. That weekend, the three of us ate dinner on the deck of our mountain home. No tension, no guilt, no family drama. You know what's weird? Noah said, shoveling lasagna. I don't miss them, not even a tiny bit. Maya raised an eyebrow. Nothing? Maybe Grandpa's terrible jokes. But that's it. Everything else, good riddance. I looked at my son, confident, valued, safe, and felt a pride I hadn't known growing up. 6 months later, Victoria emailed my work, can we talk? I archived it with thou. T opening. Julian monitored for violations. Silence. My dad knew $300,000 would destroy them. Through LinkedIn, I learned they'd sold their Ashford house, moved into a tiny rental near Victoria. Dad took a part-time job at Home Depot at 72, cutting keys in an orange apron. Minimum wage. Bar. Once later, Julian updated me again. Brar. They tried refinancing Victoria's house. Denied. Retirement accounts drained. Credit wrecked. Elliot has a low-level job now. Answers to people half his age. They're barely making payments. One slip and it collapses. BR. Good beer. And your mom tried to open a credit card. Rejected. Your dad applied for a loan. Denied. They're stuck. Just trying to stay afloat for Victoria Brie. Didn't ask how Julian knew. Didn't want to. He maintained relationships where he could. His choice. Burr. Thanks for the updates. You sure you want them, Burr? I want to know, Burr. Year later, Noah mentioned seeing something from Olivia online. She dropped out after 1 semester. Working retail. Stagnant, Burr? Feel bad for her? Maya asked Burr. Oh, shrugged. She had every advantage. Bar. Favoritism hurts everyone, I said. Even the ones who benefit. Hat night in bed, Maya rolled toward me. Brah. Ever wonder what would have happened if you just given in? Sometimes, I said. Then I remember Noah saying that party was standard operating procedure, that bone-deep resignation, and I know we did the right thing. Brr. No regrets? Bun. Hen Noah came home for spring break junior year. He had an internship at SpaceX Bar. Had I posted on social media? He teased over dinner. Bar. Oh, or terrible, Maya laughed. Burr. Learn from the best, he shot back, grinning at me. Seriously though, thanks.